Welcome to OWAD. I'm Sophia, pilot into the universe of Chinese. Let's continue to unpack some supposedly classical China era's character, and Lu is today's character. And notice here we have two dots on this U, English U, but Chinese Wu sound, and then that make it into Yu. So the whole thing with L in front of it become Lu. Okay, Lu means regulation. Regulation is, I guess, from the ruler's perspective at the beginning, because on the left side it means walking. Specifically, it's the left footprint, because we used to have a mirror image of this. We have both the left and right foot. All together, that means travel through space, because you see clearly these are footsteps. So each stroke is supposed to be an abstraction of a footstep. We see it clearly moving through space. The right side, though, is three-finger hand symbol, and specifically right hand, and we're holding an oversized brush. So here is the brush. As we know, the Chinese ancient times, the writing tool, today's writing tool is a recent invention. Pencil, pen, these are recent. Ancient times, well, in the Western movies, I see those quills, right? Like Shakespeare era. But in Chinese, ancient times is brushes, and the whole brush got to be like made of furs, of animal furs, and then soaked into black ink. I don't exactly know what that must be, some type of mineral thing, black color, and then put it on paper. Has to be the right absorbent level of paper. So I guess it depends on if you want to paint a watercolor picture or you want to write. So the different absorbency. So this is a depicting of such huge brush in comparison to the hand. Through this many years of unpacking Chinese language, I know one thing is, even if Chinese came from like a photo, is it called photogenic? No, photogenic. Pictorial. Um, like it comes with based on picture of the physical world to express something, right? Almost like a draw little picture. And here is hand over brush, we get it, but it's oversized. So size, even orientation in Chinese often is not realistic. So we cannot rely on the hand brush. It's actually more about what is the emphasis, because sometimes it will like zoom in on something, focus on this regional thing. So in this comparison, if that's the intention put in the creation and later on, recording of this character, the hand holding brush, the brush in relative to hand is a little bit oversized. Then that means the emphasis is on the brush. Anyways, hand holding brush signifies writing, and writing means almost like a non-fungible communication, because if you communicate by verbal communication, things can easily get lost its original message by copying what they say by verbal communication. But written communication, especially with some official stamps, make sure it's the authentic version. You'll almost like hear directly from the top rulers. So that's this written communication then signifies that the rulers sending out the message nationwide. Of course, imagine ancient China's map is not like today's. So we can imagine ancient times, things transport or message or decrees or laws spread through the land at way slower pace than today. So the law come into effect probably at different dates throughout the state. Um, and this way of communication, this handhold brush, then become this authority written communication icon that regards to the decree or the orders that the rulers are sending the message in the written form to the land. And then the left side is, even if it's about walking, but Chinese habitually use walking to mean practice, to mean your things in action, to put things in action. So this law, written communication, passed into practice. That is what regulation is about. It's about, especially in the point of view of central government, they try to run things in a certain way and then want to standardize it, have the whole nation follow the same rule. So this written communication is a necessity to make sure the same message passed to different regions. May take a horse, like a rider on a horse, carry such message months, ancient times, right? So this plus the practice together gave you the sense of this is a standardization from the high, the tip of the pyramid and going to be implemented over the whole population. And then everybody have to practice this. So this is walking, you have to walk the written decree from the top. All right, so 定律, fixed regulation. So here we're actually talking about the physics or mathematical laws that's without questioning, that's the foundation of how the later theories are built on. I believe there's a term for that in mathematical terms. There are such theorems, I guess, or laws about things that's the grounding of foundational. Therefore, they are fixed. They don't change. So Chinese translate that type of, I guess, human commonly agreed established rules of our understanding how the physical world operates, that as 定律. 韵律韵 is related to music because we can see here is music, and then the right side means evenly distributed music, and then that plus the regulation. What is music regulation? What regulate a music? That's a Chinese way to say rhythm. So the beat, that's the regulator of the music. You can go melody-wise up and downs, but the beat, the rhythm is what make kind of carry the music forward, keep the dynamic. Of course, there are dynamics and you sometimes go faster, slower, right? That's all your artistic choice. But this beat, this rhythm to music is almost like this regulation. You have to regulate it. So audience, the music audience can kind of have a certain expectation of when the next beat will fall. Otherwise, it's like irregular heartbeat. It's hard to appreciate. All right. 自律, self-regulation. This is self-explanatory, right? 自律, Chinese recognize 律, regulation, even as it's about governing, about central government, spread the whole standard through the nation. That's about regulation. But if you regulate yourself, that means one person govern yourself. That apply the same, I guess, same thinking. Because regulation is this pre-written rules, almost like you make a New Year resolution sort of regulation. So that's your own decree to your future self, right? And then you carry out whatever you set out to do. And that pre-written, this handheld brush thing, is the way you regulate yourself to apply rules on yourself so that you live up to your own framework that you build. And that's what self-regulation is about. All right, so here is regulation. I just want to find some pictures to show rhythm in architecture, and it involves human in it. So all of us are living in regulation of one way or another, societal regulation and personal regulation. So that's 律. Thank you for your time. See you another day.